I don't usually recommend a product as wholeheartedly as I did with the Jaybird Bluebuds X. So while I was actually disappointed with the follow-up model, the Jaybird X2, maybe it's because I went in with the wrong expectations. FreshBooks is the super simple invoicing solution that lets you get organized, save time, and get paid faster. Click in the link in the video description to learn more. So it started with the package. The earphones are well presented and the accessory package includes the earphones themselves, a short charging cable, wire management clips, and I'll explain these better later, a few different sizes of their ear fins that keep the earphone in place in your ear, a few different sizes of both standard and Comply foam ear tips, a very nice touch for improved comfort and fit if you don't mind regularly purchasing replacements, and a carrying case that annoyed me more than it probably should have. But who the hell was the person at Jaybird who thought that this, press down just hard enough, but don't press too hard, derp-tastic lid thing improved in any way the magnetic clamshell that came with the Bluebuds X? I wish I'd been in that meeting so I could personally explain that the square wheel is not an invention anyone needs, and sometimes it's fine to just stick with what we know works. And while I was sitting there being annoyed by that, I observed also that unlike the previous version, the X2 lacks any included documentation, relying instead on a link to their site where you can view it online. And while I'm all for environmental preservation, a really basic quick start guide, press the button for this long to enter pairing mode, could have saved me a couple minutes of powering it on only to then power it back down again until I realized that you just need to hold it for longer when first powering it on to enter pairing mode, and that instruction would have fit on a single piece of paper just as well as a link to the site anyway. But with that out of the way, it's time to talk about wearing them. User reviews online seem to indicate that the X2s fit better or even much better than the Bluebuds X. For me, there was no noticeable difference, and frankly, I wonder if that was just first-time users having their eyes opened to the joys of Comply tips, which, for the uninitiated, can be rolled up before being inserted into the ear canal where they expand for a nice, snug fit. Because the X2s are physically, even down to their weight, as far as I can tell, exactly the same thing. Okay then, Linus, how about performance? Battery life? Very similar to last gen. Jaybird claims 8 hours or more is doable, with users online backing this up. For me, the use them for an hour or two per week and throw them in your gym bag between sessions use case yielded about 6.5 hours of music time, which I am more than happy with. Remember that batteries discharge themselves while they're in storage. On the subject of sound quality, again, I would have to say they're very similar. User accounts vary across the internet, but from my side-by-side listening, the most noticeable difference was that the X2s pack a bit more punch in the low end. Not in an unpleasant, muddy way, and unless you're listening to them side-by-side, you're probably not going to pick up on any of that anyway. So then what the hell did they change? Frankly, not much. While I'd love to say that, it features innovations like the case has a battery bank in it and then the headphones charge wirelessly inside, or they're noticeably lighter, or the Jenna voice assistant has been significantly amped up, or the call quality, it does have a microphone by the way, is way better, or they finally fixed that one freaking thing that really bugged me on the original, the way that you couldn't reverse the stereo channels when you're wearing them in the alternate over-the-ear mode, which, by the way, is what those little cable management clips are for, although usually I'm lazy and just tie them in a knot. Which I guess leads us to the conclusion, where I have to ask, what exactly was the point of this product? And the only conclusion I can draw is that it was an inexpensive marketing campaign for their expanded color range, yes, it's available in more colors, and some other really small tweaks that could have been rolled out silently. Because if they'd approached someone like me or Marcus asking us to make a new video review of the new Jaybird earphones that, more colors, we'd have probably told them to go take a hike. But if they tell us, hey, it's a completely new product, it's the X2, well, here we are. People are re-reviewing the same product. But the good news here, at least, the takeaway for me is that anyone who wants great wireless earphones should be thankful for the Jaybird X2, because it means the Bluebuds X is cheaper now that it sits under this one in the product stack. Speaking of things that are affordable, we've got a new sponsor today, eToro. And pay attention, because this is actually not that simple. eToro is a social investment platform. What does that mean? Great question. You can view statistics, including net gain and risk level, as well as the portfolios of other investors. And if you like what they're doing, you can copy them in an effort to get results that are similar to theirs for yourselves. So you can copy one or many of the more than 4.5 million registered traders on the platform, or show your own success in trading and get others to copy you. If you get copied, you get paid 2% of all earnings gained by copying you to yourself on a monthly basis. And once you get your first copier, you become a popular investor and can start working your way up through the popular investor tiers, gaining more rewards as you move up. eToro has investors from 150 countries around the world. Unfortunately, it's not available in the US, but it is available in Canada and throughout Europe. And if you want to learn more about eToro or view some of their popular investors and see if you think investing socially is right for you, check out the link in the video description to visit their site, which, by the way, has been totally redesigned quite recently. So even if you've been there before, go have a look. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If this video sucked, you guys know what to do. But if it was awesome, get subscribed, hit that like button, or even consider supporting us directly by using our affiliate code to shop at Amazon. Whether you're buying this product, something else for the holiday season or whatever, we've got instructions for how to do that up there. You can also buy a cool shirt like this one. We recently revamped our merch store, merch.linustechtips.com, where you can even make a direct monthly contribution through our community forum. Now that you're done watching all that stuff, doing all that stuff, watching all that, you're probably wondering what video to watch next, so check out that little button in the top right corner to check out a video where I build, yes my friends, CPU, motherboard, and 16 gigs of RAM capable of gaming 8 cores for about the price of the Jaybird X2s. Go watch it.